In a quiet corner of an unassuming library, nestled between dusty tomes and forgotten scrolls, sat an old man with a gentle smile. His eyes, though weathered by the passage of time, gleamed with a wisdom that belied his years. His hands, veined and wrinkled, traced the contours of an ancient map laid out on the table before him. The map was not of any known land but a cosmic chart, etched with constellations that formed the shapes of mythical beasts and celestial deities. The room was silent, save for the occasional rustle of pages turning and the faint tick of a grandfather clock that had long ago lost its rhythm. The man's name was Thaddeus, a scholar of the obscure and the keeper of forgotten lore. His curiosity had led him through countless adventures across the globe, each one adding to his vast collection of knowledge and artifacts. But it was his latest discovery that had brought him to this moment. In the hidden compartment of a dusty book, he had found a key, small and unassuming, yet he could feel its power humming within his grasp. It was shaped like a stylized eye, with an intricate design that mirrored the tattoo above his own left eyebrow, a symbol of the all-seeing one. The key was made of a material that shimmered like a moonbeam, casting soft, ethereal light onto the pages of the map. Thaddeus knew that the key and the Crom map were linked to the whispers of prophecy he had heard in his dreams. The whispers spoke of a cosmic door that, when unlocked, would reveal the truth of existence itself. The prophecy was cryptic, but it spoke of a divine figure who would stand before the gateway, poised to either illuminate or destroy the universe. As he studied the map, he felt the weight of his discovery grow heavier. The lines and symbols began to pulse and shift before his eyes, revealing hidden pathways and sacred coordinates. He traced a path from the center of the map to its edge, where the lines converged into a single point. That point, he realized, matched the location of an ancient temple lost to time, nestled high in the mountains outside the city. The whispers grew louder in his mind, urging him to act swiftly. The divine figure was approaching, and the fate of the world hung in the balance. Thaddeus gathered his things, the map now rolled and tucked safely into his pocket, and left the library with a newfound sense of purpose. The time had come to face the cosmic mandala and unravel the mysteries that lay beyond. The journey to the temple fraught with peril. He trekked through dense forests, scaled treacherous cliffs, and navigated across uncharted rivers. Each step brought him closer to the truth, and the whispers grew more insistent, now echoing through the very fabric of the world around him. The air grew thinner, and the trees bowed as if in reverence to the sacred ground he approached. When he finally reached the temple's crumbling stones, the sun was setting, casting a warm, golden hue across the landscape. The energy of the place was palpable, the very earth seeming to hum with anticipation. The structure stood tall, ancient and unyielding, the cosmic mandala etched into its gleaming surface. The key in his pocket thrummed with excitement, resonating with the power of the portal. Thaddeus took a deep breath and inserted the moonlit key into the lock, turning it with a soft click that echoed through the centuries. The ground trembled, and the air grew thick with anticipation. The whispers fell silent as the gateway began to unfold before him, golden beams of light piercing the veil of reality. On the other side of the portal, the divine figure took shape. It was not what he had expected. Being neither male nor female, neither young nor old, but ageless and all-knowing. Its eyes burned with the light of 1,000 stars, and its form was an ever-shifting tapestry of cosmic energy. The figure extended a hand, palm up, beckoning him to come closer. Thaddeus felt the weight of destiny press down upon him, a mix of awe and fear gripping his heart. This was the moment he had been chosen for, the moment that would define his legacy. He took a step forward, the whispers now silent, and prepared to meet his fate. The shadowy figures that had dogged his footsteps materialized into a chorus of doubt and fear. They circled the divine being, whispering of his unworthiness, of the dangers that lay ahead, and the futility of his quest. Yet Thaddeus felt an inner strength surge through him, a light that grew brighter with each step he took. The whispers grew fainter, overwhelmed by the purity of the divine presence. He knew that the truth was within reach, and he would not be swayed by the shadows of his own mind. The angelic beings of light grew more vivid, their voices joining the symphony of the cosmos to encourage him. They sang of a world that had forgotten its divine heritage, lost in the chaos of its own making. They spoke of his role as a beacon, guiding humanity back to the sacred path. The golden beams grew more intense, and the patterns of the mandala swirled, drawing him closer to the heart of the cosmos. Thaddeus could feel the power of the universe coursing through him, a heady mix of creation and destruction. He stepped through the threshold, the golden light enveloping him, and the whispers of doubt were silenced. On the other side of the portal, he found himself in a realm beyond comprehension, a place where time and space intertwined like threads in a cosmic loom. The divine figure grew to encompass the entirety of the space, and its eyes met his with a knowing gaze. It spoke without words, its voice resonating within his soul. "You are the chosen one, Thaddeus, the keeper of the sacred truth. The world is ready for illumination. Will you embrace your destiny?" End of chapter. The question hung in the air, heavy with the weight of eternity. Thaddeus looked around, the cosmic patterns of the mandala reflecting in his eyes. He felt the burden of his role settle upon his shoulders, yet his resolve remained unshaken. He nodded, his heart filled with newfound courage. The divine figure placed a hand upon his forehead, and he felt the warmth of the heavens flood his being. His third eye blazed to life, and he was granted a vision of the universe, its beauty and its pain, its beginnings and its endings, all laid bare before him. With this gift came the knowledge of his purpose, and he understood the profound responsibility that had been bestowed upon him. The scene grew brighter still, and the celestial background swelled with power. Thaddeus knew that the time to act was now. With the divine energy coursing through him, he reached out and touched the map, which began to glow with the same ethereal light. The lines grew more defined, and the hidden pathways grew clear. He was ready to share the truth with the world, to guide humanity back to its sacred destiny. The figure spoke once more, its voice a gentle whisper amidst the cosmic symphony. "Remember, Thaddeus, with great power comes great sacrifice. The path you choose will change the course of history. Do so with wisdom and compassion." The words lingered in his mind as the light grew too intense to bear. Thaddeus took a deep breath, feeling the essence of the universe within him. He closed his eyes and stepped back into his world, the cosmic portal ceiling shut with a thunderous boom. The library was just as he had left it, yet everything had changed. The whispers had ceased, and in their place was a quiet determination. He knew what he had to do. Unfurling the map on the table, he traced the illuminated path with his finger, the lines pulsing with the divine energy he now carried. The world waited for his guidance, and he was ready to fulfill his sacred duty. The journey ahead was long and fraught with challenges, but with the light of truth shining within him, he could not fail. The whispers of doubt had been replaced by the echoes of destiny, urging him to begin his quest. Thaddeus felt the weight of the cosmos within him, a burden that filled him with a solemn responsibility. He knew the road ahead was not one of glory but of enlightenment and sacrifice. As he left the library, the map guiding him, the city's streets seemed to stretch on forever, reflecting the vastness of the journey that lay before him. Each step he took The map grew more vibrant, the lines on its surface pulsing with the same celestial energy that had filled the portal. The people he passed by began to look up from their mundane lives, their eyes drawn to the glow emanating from the scholar's presence. They could feel the shift in the fabric of reality, the whisper of something greater on the horizon. Thaddeus walked with purpose, his gaze set on the distant peak where the lost temple stood as a silent sentinel. Upon reaching the base of the mountain, he found that the path was not as daunting as he had feared. The divine presence within him seemed to clear the way, making the steep climb feel more like a gentle ascent. The vegetation grew more lush and the air more pure, as if the very essence of nature recognized the sacred mission he bore. As he climbed higher, the whispers of doubt and fear grew faint, drowned out by the harmonious chorus of creation. When he finally reached the summit, the ruins of the ancient lay before him, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. The cosmic mandala was etched into the stone, its patterns mirroring the very fabric of the universe. He approached the center of the structure, where the map's light grew most intense, and knelt before the dormant power that lay within. The divine figure had imbued him with the wisdom to understand the language of the stars, and he knew that this was the place where he would share the sacred truth with those who sought it. Thaddeus unfurled the map, and as he did, the whispers of the cosmos grew louder. The stars aligned, and the energy of the cosmos pulsed through him and into the map. The air grew thick with anticipation as the whispers grew into a crescendo. The map began to levitate, the lines on its surface becoming living veins of light that stretched out and connected with the mandala, bridging the gap between worlds. The scholar felt a surge of power as the map transformed into a gateway of its power, a beacon to those lost in the darkness. The first to arrive were the curious and the desperate, drawn by the promise of knowledge and salvation. They came in droves, from all walks of life, their faces a tapestry of hope and wonder. As they stepped through the gateway, their eyes widened with the revelation of the divine truth. The shadows that had once consumed them were lifted, replaced by the warm embrace of understanding. Thaddeus watched as they left the temple, changed beings, ready to carry the light of the cosmos back into the world. The whispers grew, quieter as the night fell, and the stars above shone brighter than ever. Thaddeus knew that his work had only just begun.